Alive.
Hey
Hey,
y'all.
hey, hey, y'all. Hey, everyone, on this fine Saturday evening. It is cold outside. It's so cold. So, we want chat in the comment immediately. How cold is it by you? Are you suffering? Are you okay? Are you warm? Let us know. We're Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. If you don't know who you're watching, that's who you're watching. I'm Carmel Jean Francois. That right there is.
Dr. Jamesia.
And over there is.
Hey, it's Debbie Maisha.
And there is.
I am Shelly out of New Jersey, and it's cold here, about 20 degrees.
Yes, yes, yes. So we should just do a formal. I was just trying to be cute. So we should just do a formal introduction and let the good people know what we're here to talk about this evening. So I'm going to start off by saying I'm Carmel Jean Francois, owner and founder of CFIT Coaching. I work with individuals who have come to know that they're dealing with a loss of control with their health and nutrition, and I help them adopt a whole food, plant-based lifestyle in order to combat these addictions. And I'm also here to encourage every one of you to add more plants to your plate. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Dr. J.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, author, all the things. And I'm 1/5 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Welcome. Passing it over to you, Shelly.
I am, this is so weird, this camera thing. Okay, anyway, I'm Shelly A. Carter out of New Jersey, the founder of Housing Ministry, LLC. In that space, I am working with homeowners to fight foreclosure, and also working with home buyers to buy into real estate, not as a dream, but as an investment where they can monetize it and let it be a financial tool instead of another bill in their lives. And that's it. Maisha?
Hi, I'm Aisha. I'm the owner of Central Energy Alchemy LLC. I'm a master life coach and a sacred sexuality teacher. And let's get into this conversation.
Let's get into this conversation. Thank you, ladies. So yesterday, Dr. J and I were having a conversation live on Instagram, and we brought up Nicey Nash. Now, I think it was last week or earlier this week, Monday. She won an Emmy, and she got up and she gave that speech. I want to thank me for believing in me, and it's the talk right now. So a few people were asking her, "Hey, what like why?" Not in a derogatory way, but just some clarification. Not everybody does that. You know, we spend a lot of time pointing out our faults and what we should have done and what we could have done better. And Nicey proudly got up on that stage and she thanked everybody that she needed to thank. She thanked the Lord, she thanked family, she thanked people who she worked with, and she said, I want to thank me. And I feel like it's something that we probably do more in silence than on a platform where we say, "I'm amazing. Look what I did. I did that." Right. So Dr. J and I discussed it a little bit yesterday. So I'm anxious to hear what you Shelly, and you, Debbie Maisha, have to say on the topic. Who wants to go first? I'm going to pass the mic.
Well, the first thing I want to say is it's interesting that people are talking about Nicey Nash saying it. When Snoop Dogg said it, nobody thought about it.
How about that?
When a man said it, I don't recall anybody being like, so why'd you say that? Everybody's like, yes.
That part, Maisha, when a man said it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit like, why is it a discussion?
I'm not. It's not a question to me. It's very obvious and apparent that it is a discussion because a woman said it.
Well, it's also a little bit of a demonstration of how divisive we are because it was brand new. Black America knew exactly who said it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But
that's a good point.
She did take a little step further, but we can keep going. But I think we should note that because it was a woman that it was said, but it's also everyone else. And people are supposed Snoop fans, but they didn't tune into it. They completely ignored it. But
that's a good point.
You know, they're like, oh, that's just him being one of them rapper people, just all that smart talk. But if it had a different impact coming out of Nicey.
Mhm.
Because
And
I was here.
why did it have? Why do you think though? Why do you think it had a different impact coming out of Nicey? Because when you guys were just saying it, I'm like, okay, that's Snoop. You know, that's Snoop, right?
As soon as
But
I heard her initial, because I was there watching the reruns. I don't watch these shows live. I wait for the highlights to come out. And I was rooting and smiling as soon as I heard her say it. But then when I went back and I heard the whole speech, and the after interview that I posted on my page, she was talking about just the fact that no one knows what she's going through. And for me, it hits different because I've been talking, whether it be about myself or to other people that I deal with, no one really knows what you go through. And it is very easy to give up. So I'm sure her and Snoop have had a nice little nod or a message between them already, because, you know, that's just their world. And I can imagine him saying, girl, that ain't a thing. Run with it, sis, and spread the message, because he's a man who's about a message, and the message that everybody needs to hear a few times is, she said, it's not us, it's not they, it's self-esteem. And you deserve to give yourself accolades. You deserve to pat yourself on the back. And if you did that, say, I did that. And because someone else is right on the fence of saying they're not going to do it. I think almost everyone, one time or more, has not done something because of what voice was standing behind them, what lack of a push. And I feel like she's telling us we need to push ourselves. And when we push ourselves, we need to give ourselves our own round of applause, whether anybody else sees it or not. And I'll take a back seat there.
definitely.
But I loved it. What do you think, Maisha?
Huh?
Yes.
Nice answer.
Oh, that
No,
was it?
I did. I'm here for it. I don't. I don't. I mean, I'm glad we're talking about it, but I'm like, I saw her say it. I was like, you're damn right.
You're damn right.
I don't know.
You're damn right. And the fact that it's just like Maisha's like, well, why are we talking about it, right? The fact that it is a conversation, the fact that we are talking about it just goes to show you that people, number one, are not used to hearing somebody say thank you to me. And number two, that many people we're not in the habit of saying, hey, thank you to me for waking up, for showing up, for doing the things. Yes, we have a slew of people behind us that believe in us, that are pushing for us, that are rooting for us, that are holding us accountable, that are cheering us on, giving us the things that we need to move forward, of course. But if I don't make that decision to make that happen, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And that's the part that people are not, that's the part I feel that's not being acknowledged enough for us to say, thank you, me, thank you to me, thank you to me. Because we spend so much time. People's Emmy or award speeches are filled with thank you to you and thank you to you and thank you to you and thank you to you. What the part that I played?
Right. And another thing about that too, Carmel, is not just that. It's sometimes people who were there for you, who did cheer you on, who did support you, make you feel like, oh, you have to give me my props for whatever. Right? You need to make sure you thank this person, that person, this person, that person, this person.
Yep.
No, forget you. Forget what you did. You didn't all these people who had your back. So it's not to me. I think we need to remember also we did the work, just like you said, we did the work.
I was just thinking, go ahead, Shelley. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we're at a time right now where everyone is talking about who deserves credit. Taraji said that the color purple is being skewed and being overtaken by this conversation because she had this temporary meltdown. But she had the temporary meltdown because of the same topic. She said, I'm doing all the work and I'm always in a fight. It takes a lot of energy. And whether you direct it towards women of color, women, period, or people I just feel like, listen, everybody is working hard. Some of us working harder. And, talking about it, saying it this way, it was a larger stage than that Hollywood star. I'm glad that the saying and the mindset is being spread, because there's healing behind that statement.
Yeah.
And they also had different expectations, because there were so many people of color who got awards this time. And I don't know what they think an acceptance speech is supposed to look like,
Mm-hmm.
but the presentation, the women who were present were stunning. I'm being completely sexist. I feel like the men have it easy. They throw on a great suit and they always look wonderful. But everyone looked beautiful. They carried themselves well. And I love the power. Okay, that's where I could step back. It's time for people to speak power into their lives.
Love that.
I do
So
too.
yeah, I just right on that. I didn't this because this is from the Emmys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I stopped watching these shows a long time ago. But I love watching the people's acceptance speeches on YouTube. It cuts out all the middle stuff, like Shirley was saying. But when I heard it, and as you all were talking, I was like, yes, even though you have a team of people who are helping you, and no doubt your team of people helps you to get to where you are. The reason why you have a team is because of the work you're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't work, the team doesn't work anyway. It's not like the team is looking for a person. It's you who gathers together your team. And she is the one getting up early in the morning. She is the one who's memorizing the lines. She is the one who's sacrificing time in a different way. Your team comes, they put you together, right? And then they can step over here for a moment, but she's still gotta keep going. I love the fact that even though, yes, you thank your team because your team is important, that you do thank yourself, because it is you who, to Taraji's point, you are the one doing the work so you can pay your team.
Mhm.
So why not thank yourself for all of the work, the sacrifices, the tears? And this conversation has, like I've seen it on LinkedIn, has become so important and so much larger than that for us as Black women, because we often give so much of our time and labor in a thankless way, and we don't expect a thank you. We just figure this is what we do. We just give and give and give and give. And if somebody even says to us, "So great, congratulations to you," we're like, "Oh no, no." And Nicey Nash is like, "Get damn right, congratulations to me." And I think it is time that we owned what we do, and that we say, I want to take time to thank myself for this as well.
Well, I'm gonna throw a fly in the ointment as I open the laptop, and I haven't read the story yet, but the headline says supporters say that the Black academic's suicide was fueled by the very pressure she studied in her dissertation. And I believe, what was she, the president of what university?
Was that Harvard? Is that what you're talking about?
Lincoln University in
Yeah,
Missouri.
Lincoln
Lincoln.
University president of student affairs. And it says that she wrote in her dissertation that hardships Black women face while climbing the professional ladder in academia. That was that's what her dissertation title was about. I probably clipped through a word just trying to be fast. The fact that she committed suicide, the fact that these are facts. She didn't feel valued. She didn't feel appreciated. I feel like this conversation is really important. Not, unfortunately, not leaning on the loss, but how many people are out there depressed because they feel like they're working, they're not getting anything done. And if you have that day where you're working all day and someone says, "What did you do today?" I don't even know. I was just busy all day. I don't know. You did something. You deserve, take a minute, stand still. Don't let "I don't know" be the answer. What did you do today? Learn that answer. And if you like the answer, give yourself a pat on the back for it. You accomplished it. I told Carmel I broke my fast. She still congratulated me on making it through most of the month. She didn't beat me up over it. And if
I wanted to.
huh?
I
But you
wanted to.
but you handled it very kindly. Thank you for that. But there's also that place of, if you're looking at your day and you feel like you wasted a little bit of time, did you need that rest? Did you need that slower day? All of these words make my mind go all over the place, because I feel like we're too hard on ourselves too often. And we have this thing where if we're not perfect, we're not good enough. Since we're not good enough, we shouldn't even try. And I just am really hung up on the fact that Snoop and Nicey have us talking about this. I'd like to see it be in headlines for another week or two, and I'd like to see it stay relevant for several months to come.
You know, while you all were talking, because Shelley, you said something that's very appropriate, and I do think that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as Black women. So suicide rates are climbing for Black women currently over the past 2 years. They're climbing for. We are now. I think somebody's got a little bit of feedback, isn't he? Of 18 to 64, we're starting to commit suicide at a higher rate than we did before. And I think this is partly due to us realizing how much pressure we put on ourselves to attempt to fit into someone's idea of who we're supposed to be. I was thinking about the ice challenge stuff and things like that people do. And I was thinking about how we as Black women are always wanting to challenge ourselves to do things. And I'm beginning to think that the reason why we're always trying to challenge ourselves to do things is because there's a part of us that still doesn't feel that we're good enough. And so we have to challenge who we think we are in order to see that we're capable of something. We are Black women in the United States of America. That is a huge challenge. We are women in the United States of America. That is a huge challenge. We are descendants of chattel slavery. If you are in the Western Hemisphere, whether you're in the mainland or you've come from the Caribbean, that is a huge challenge. I feel like we're challenged enough. Seriously, like we are challenged enough, but there's still a part of us that still inherent does not feel that we have reached something or made it somewhere. And I think between that and of course there's social media and all the other things, it is causing us to feel like we have to sacrifice so much in order to be what to who and why, to say that we are now lovable, somebody, something. I don't, all of the above. But the fact that our suicide rates are increasing is disturbing to me. And to me, it's a signal that we need to stop trying so hard to fit into a mold that was not created by us for us, that does not benefit us through our mental health, through our physical health, or anything like that. And I really think that statements like what Nicey Nash said, I hope that, Shelley, yes, there does continue to be a discussion. I hope Black women start to say, yes, I want to thank myself. I hope Black women stop trying to squeeze themselves in, whether it be from body size or power size, so that they can sit at somebody else's table. I really hope that we start to build our own tables amongst ourselves.
Amen. Definitely.
I just looked it up, Maisha. It says anyone listening can research it on their own, but this particular statistic was just saying in particular groups, it's rising from 1.9% to 4.9% out of a classification of 100,000. So we've gone from 2 to 5 per 100,000.
And that's high, because we would hear something in the news that somebody killed themselves. We'd be like, oh, they ain't Black. They ain't Black.
Right. And not
Black. We don't do that.
Yeah, not now. I remember when I don't remember which beauty pageant person it was to her death in Midtown.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to ask yourself, like, what, yes, this is a mental health issue. Why?
Yeah.
Like,
so,
right.
I have a thought on that. Do you mind if I interrupt?
No, not at all.
it is okay. I'm stuttering because I'm trying to make sure that I edit myself, but I can't. We've got to, it is critical for us to start working on our relationships as men and women in this country, as Black men and women. I don't know about anybody else, but I know that in these podcasts, it seems like if you want to get a hit podcast, if you want to be successful, that Kevin Samuels effect, where men just feel like, let me just go attack Black women and all the other angry Black men, because it's not angry Black women anymore. It's angry Black men will chime in and start attacking us. I made a comment because a non-Black woman was saying that Black women would be the it race if we were just softer. And I asked, okay, so I have to go shovel snow. Exactly how soft should I look? And the responses ranged from crazy to common sense. But most of the responses were, well, soft enough to get a man. Just go get a man. After all of this time, regardless of all of us living in the exact same world, there's still this attitude that we're supposed to just go get a man and that's going to solve all of the issues. Oh, but wait, you guys are not soft enough, so we don't want you. We want other people who are soft. But you got Dr. Umar out here talking and telling people, I can't date a woman if I can't date I only date Black women, but I don't date Black women who've ever been with non-Black men. There's a lot of toxicity happening in the community and it is spreading like a disease. And where does it end? Everyone talks a good kumbaya about how we need to come together, but the loudest voices are the ones spreading this toxic waste. That's it.
Is he married?
I don't know about that, man. I don't know if he is or is. If he was, she ran because he said something about dating, and I'm like, okay, I need to go date someone and have sex with someone else out of my race to make sure I never make it on your list, sir.
Oh my gosh, right? But yeah, I know. I think Shelley, a lot of what you said, I think that plays into it too.
I know I went on a rant. I'm sorry.
No, but it ties in because it's like we're under pressure to show up some kind of way, and I keep trying to figure out. And I was having this conversation last night with a friend of mine that I was out with, talking about this whole submission and dominance thing and all of that stuff, and like who determines what soft is? Like who is setting the standard for that somehow we are Dr. Umar is not married. Oh no, say less. Who is determining the standard for what this soft looks like?
Can I tell you something, Maisha, and then I'll give you the mic back?
Yeah.
So after posting hey, I gotta go shovel snow, I got a phone call saying, hey, I don't want you to worry. I'm coming up to shovel the snow. And there's a task I'm usually annoyed by because flat out I have why are you asking me to do this thing that you could do yourself? But after coming to rescue me and then leave, I get this text message saying, hey, can you do this for me? And all I could think to say was, of course I will. And I think he might have expected any number of answers out of me because he knows I don't normally like doing it. But the universe told me, woman, this is what you say. Of course I will do that task for you. And I got an unusually grateful message back because it's something stupid. It's a bill he doesn't like dealing with. And I said, I got it. You got me, I got you. Hands down. I'm not gonna, Maisha, I can't be any softer than that.
Right.
I don't see who gets to determine. I like no one gets to tell me what that is. That's between me and the men that I choose to deal with. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to give me a definition of what that is. And now I have to contort myself to fit into it so that someone else feels better about their womanhood or manhood or whatever it is that they're doing. Like,
Do you have a definition? Have you ever heard a definition?
oh, and I am in that community. Well, so there are people that they're using as templates for this. There's this whole thing called Eros Gamos that some people are using. We're not going to get into that today. There, but there's there's this idea of what this looks like. To me, it's quite distorted. As Black women, I don't know what that is. We've always been somewhat of warrior women. We've always worked in some way. Like, this idea that soft and submissive means you don't work, to me, is diminishing to the women who actually stay at home and work. That's work.
You know,
right?
in slavery time, you would have a baby in the morning and they had you in the fields in the afternoon.
Mhm.
So
Sure is.
what are you talking about?
Right. So who is this? Who? Soft for who and soft how? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm confused by that.
See, I feel like it's comments like that that have us as Black women all over the place with how we're supposed to show up, right? So we are under pressure still. We're under a different kind of pressure. And I feel like we might be under more pressure than ever before, because we're under the pressure of having advanced so far ahead in society that now we can't really look like what we looked like back then. But back then, our ancestors, our matriarchs were so strong. And now we're comparing ourselves to that strength. We're comparing ourselves to the strength of the women that we surround ourselves with and what we see around us. Like, oh my God, she has it going on. And oh my God, look what she's accomplished. And what have I accomplished? And we're also under the pressure of how white society wants us, how they want us to show up, or how we think they want us to show up. And then the pressures that they're giving us. So we're under so much stress from so many different areas, from what we have to be in the future, what we were in the past, what we have to be to the people that are around us, what we have to be to our colleagues and to our superiors, and how we have to show up as entrepreneurs, and how we have to show up as business women or co-workers. And it's a lot. And mothers, dare I say, mothers, sisters, friends, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, I feel like the stress we're under is like none other ever in history. And not only that, can we talk about the trauma, the ancestral trauma that we're still dealing with, or not dealing with.
Talk about
And
it.
it's
And
all
that's why I want to thank me.
Okay.
For surviving this long with all the BS. Yes, I want to thank me for taking care of children or dealing with this relationship. I want to thank me for dealing with the responsibility of the choices that I made and for owning up to them. I want to thank me for being on a healing journey. I want to thank me.
Amen.
Right?
All of that. Amen.
Come on. People
really
used to doing that.
It is. I swear. I need to add it to the list of exercises that I think everybody needs to go through every 18 to 24 months. We just take a minute and appreciate yourself. But this concept, if it's getting worse, then where the hell do we get it? Because when I sit in these sales meetings, they're telling me to come target my sisters. Oh, you go find yourself some circles, some ethnic, because you can't say Black in a meeting, but all the ethnic circles, and then they could talk about the statistics of can we stop saying that word urban? Say Black. You mean to say Black. Black and women are doing this. They're getting the degrees. They're educated. They're entrepreneurs. They're homeowners. We need to go develop relationships with this. Yes. Okay, great. Where's the family? Where's the this? And instead of providing additional resources that were provided to us to get in this spot, you're continuing to try to imprison. I don't know what's going on with the prison system. I'm not tuned into all of that right now, but these men have been through so much. Like I said, I'm not going to speak bad on Kevin Samuels. but boy, did he open a Pandora's box.
Oh my God.
And it is something where these people have voices. They have an audience. Sorry, that people are listening. They're listening.
They're listening because they have a lot of unhealed trauma that they haven't dealt with either. So it's a whole lot easier to point the finger and to assign someone else to do the job that they're just not doing for themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what they do, they sit back and they complain about all of Black women's issues or what Black women aren't doing when they're not doing the work that they need to be doing either.
There you go.
So we need to, we need to bring this thing together. We need to say, hey, I'm not going to give up on you and you don't need to give up on me. We're going to work through this. I'm going to go through I'm going to do the work I need to do. You do the work you need to do, and we're going to come together. But as far as this softness or femininity or whatever, like Maisha said, what barometer are we using? And if we're using Caucasian women or Asian women,
You can't.
or whomever, that again is another slap in the face. And
or
you
women
can't do
who
it.
happen to be, or people who are making multiple six figures,
Right.
who can do some of these things regardless of their background. Like,
yeah. And can we, no, honestly, and can we just live? Can we just be original? Can we just do what we do? Like, if you're in a relationship, can you guys just be in that relationship and stop trying to pull everything from everywhere to try to design the relationship you're in? I mean,
just allow us everything you just said, and allow us our luxuries when they want them. Because if she has a maid, then she needs help. But if we get a maid, if I get a maid,
you're lazy.
You're lazy. You don't manage your time well.
Right.
Come on.
We don't do that. Mm-hmm. We don't have someone else come in and clean our house.
Wait. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's not what we do. Mm-hmm. We work 80 hours a week and then we come home and clean. What are you thinking, hiring someone else to clean?
But and so that's another thing, right? So I feel like that's never been done in history. Everybody's always had help. And it was usually from the community. It was usually from family, because families would live together. They would live in the same house or next door. Or I know that's how my family grew up in Haiti. And my family always had help because there was always somebody that needed the extra income. And there was always people in the home that needed the extra help. Like, we grew up seeing servants around. But coming here to America, everything now is all shifted and changed, and everybody's expected to do everything themselves. That was never the intent. You know how Jamaica speaks about community a lot? Jamaica grew up like this. There was people always around to help with something that pertains to our daily lives. And now, there's never before in history, people live alone and they do everything by themselves. They eat alone, they clean, they wash, they go to work, they come back, everything is done alone. That was never what I feel life was supposed to be about.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of this music too, to be honest with you, independent this, independent that, do this by myself, do that by myself. I think a lot of that too, we've taken on this thing. Oh, I got to do it by myself. Oh, I got to build by myself. I don't need anybody, this, that, and the other. And that's just too much. It's just too much. And yes, we're strong. We are, but we need a community, period. We need support. We need community, all that.
I was just thinking, as Carmel was saying that, and you were talking about it too, Dr. Jamesia, that I think that for us is a big part of our mental health issue. Mm-hmm. We are very communal and we are very tribal, and specifically, like, it feels like specifically Gen X and the like my mother's generation, who had like the door open to opportunities, and then a mentality, we got a mentality that was not ours. That's like, it's all on you. It's all on you. And we started to leave behind what assisted us, thinking we were going for something better. Like we don't want to be associated with all that back there. We want to be able to do all these things over here. And then we grew up in that. And while it's beautiful to strive, it's not that. We left behind the idea of community. We left behind the idea of let's go do our laundry together. I don't want to do my laundry with you. I don't want her to see my clothes or anything like that. I'm going to try to take mine to the dry cleaners, and I'll try to stop over there before I got to go to work and I got to get my groceries. I got to do this. I don't want to join together. I don't know that I can trust her to be in community. We took on this mentality of be afraid of the backstabbing, be afraid of someone's taking from you, of them stealing from you. So you gotta do it by yourself. And we took on this individualistic way of thinking that I think is actually really killing us because we are so alone. And that's just not how we're meant to be, as Mary Kim was saying on Instagram.
Right. Definitely.
Super powerful.
Somewhere along the way,
we're not meant to be alone. We're not.
I think somewhere along the way we translated the messages wrong, right? Like, it only matters what you think about yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else is thinking about you. Where that's true, so we kind of like we extracted from it that it's just me. It's just me. It's just me against everybody else. And so now people have to work doubly hard to get in our good graces so that we can trust them, so that we can forgive them, so that they can be a part of our circle. You've got to earn that, right? And yeah, somewhere along the way, I think we got it wrong a little bit.
That's very well said for me. That hits home for me. And I you guys know I live a multi-generational life, and I can't tell you how many times I've gotten heat because of my lifestyle. Yet then when other people find themselves in that same position, all of a sudden they need help, they need advice, but I've come to learn they don't want to ask me for the advice because they were the same ones beating me up for living this way. Now they understand. Now it's their turn. We all age. We all mature. Our parents need us. We need our parents. It's okay is why I'm bringing it up. Because at whatever point where you discover the value in being connected and living with, living inside of, living because of, this is a unity babble. I don't care when you get it, but if you get it, I think it's beautiful. For me, that's my opinion. I think anything that helps people come together is beautiful, and we need more of it. So that's my little 2 cents.
I feel like with all that's happening, innately we feel it. We know that we need community. We know we need a support group, a support system. And I feel like everybody is just so desperate to find their tribe and find their group, and they'll hold on to things that feel good to them because we so need it and desire it, because for so many years now, for an entire generation, we've been on our own, us against the world. So yeah.
But I'll take that to say that that's what's important about BCHG, because we say all the time, we've been saying for, I get to say years now, definitely well over a year, small win, right? That we are committed to not being like everyone else. Not that we're not human. That's not the point. But when we run a dialogue, we attempt to have respectful conversation. We are attempting to be that example of what womanhood, sisterhood can be, should be, where, there's progress and support. And hopefully people are seeing an example that they can go create their own sister network or join ours, because we're here and, everyone is welcome. We make ourselves available on Instagram and Facebook and through our events. I just think that more time, more communication, more channels, more and more people are getting the message. What I say, you didn't get the memo. People are getting the memo. I'm simplifying it and making it easy, but at the end of the day, we can live our lives with people and have people to share our experiences with, or we can choose to live them without. But I think for me, at the end of the day, the end of my days, I'm gonna be better for every moment that I share with someone. Those are beautiful memories that I'm gonna have to look back on. And still, to go back to the beginning, I want to be proud of myself. I want to be more daring. I don't want to be another 20, 30 years asking myself, what I wish I had done different in my life. I have my life now. Let me ask myself now what it is that I want so that I can construct a life that I will be proud of when people say, hey, tell me about your life. Oh, I'm glad you asked. I went here, I did this, I met that, we hopped on a boat and jumped off of a fall. I don't want to be afraid to do anything, because there's sometimes this bubble we create. We're not doing things because something might happen. Isn't that every day?
Mhm.
I'm just saying, that's every day. I remember I used to get invited to go skiing. I didn't want to go skiing because I might break my leg, but everyone didn't break their leg. It, these are things I've learned from. So I'm here where I am, moving forward with you guys, saying I want to take inventory now of what I've done that I'm proud of, and the things that I'm excited to try, and I want to go try those too. So
It's beautiful, Shelley. You know, as we start to wind down, do we want to fill people in on our sugar challenge and where we are and what's going on, what's happening?
you guys go first.
Yes, I'll start. I'll start. Um, so I don't know how many listening know that I am a whole food plant-based coach, and my specialty, my lane is sugar addiction, is just sugar, right? And so this was a really amazing opportunity for me when in December, I think we were going back and forth in the Black Coffee, Honey and Grits, and we said, what challenge should we, offer our group? And I think I might have mentioned it in passing, or somebody else did, but everybody jumped on Sugar Challenge. And I was like, wow, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be a challenge for even me, because even though I've overcome sugar in a huge way, and I want to thank me for believing in me that I did the thing, right? But sugar still calls my name. And oftentimes I answer. You all have witnessed it. But I know what it does in the body, and I know what it does in my body. I know how it manifests, and I know how I feel about it, how it makes me feel, and how it makes my body function. And that's just an awareness of over the years paying attention. And so I jumped on it, and I really got to say, I'm proud of how I've been able to uphold this sugar-free lifestyle for the past few weeks, intentionally and consciously saying no to certain things. And then at the end of the day saying, I had no candy today. I had nothing with added sugar. And I put that box down because I saw added sugar. And I went to the store, and sometimes they sell a big box of candy, but sometimes they sell that one for 20 cents. And it's so easy to say, here's my quarter, keep the change. I'll take my candy now. And I didn't do any of that. And even today I was at the store and I was just like, nope, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. So I got to say that I'm doing pretty well. We have 11 days left of this month. And I'm going to keep going for it. And let's see, maybe we just step into February too. I don't know yet. I'm just saying. So that's how I've been doing. Thank you for asking.
I want to go. That's amazing, Carmel.
Thank you.
I feel like I've been doing really good with sugar. I don't have like a super challenge with like sweets like that. Not at all. But I don't look for sugar in stuff. And I have been intentionally looking, and I have been crazy since the holidays, eating and doing whatever I want to do. And I gained weight, and I don't really care to carry extra weight if I don't have to. So I didn't weigh myself for the last couple of days, but I did lose 7 pounds. And I feel like that has to do with, of course, it's water weight too, but hopefully some of that will just stay off because I'm not. I'm adding
water weight, a couple of pounds at best. Water weight, a couple of pounds at best.
Okay.
The rest of it, say thank you for believing in me.
Thank you for yes, thank you, Jamesia, for working some of that off. But so I love it. I'm going to continue with it. I did, you guys, everyone should know this. I did add a teaspoon of sugar in my coffee and tablespoon of cream, powdered cream. I did that, and that's it. That's all I really did. I haven't had no Cokes, y'all. Y'all will be so happy, so excited for me. Yay me, no Cokes. I like Coke, y'all. I haven't had any Coca-Cola. And I haven't done anything extra crazy, and I've been very conscious of the sugar content. So, and every daggone thing has sugar in it. Can y'all imagine if we were doing no salt? Anyway, that's been me.
Yeah.
Well, I busted, and I'm okay with it. I'm not going to beat myself up because I still made it pretty far, and it's a challenge for me. But I noticed an instant shift, not overnight, but for me, a fast shift. So what I have discovered is that my body likes it when I keep the sugar out of it. And the combination of me fasting and doing is it really no sugar? Let's call it extremely low sugar, because there was still some sugar I discovered in things. And we know I had the raisin debacle, which
Craisins, the cranberry raisins.
I had cranberry, raisins, apple, and feta cheese, gorgonzola cheese. It was, but yes, hug myself. Every time I do this, I still learn something, but I am in the house. Look, I'm babysitting hot chocolate. There's pizza, there's hot chocolate. There's those giant supermarket cookies that come in the 3. I've had, they made it in the mouth. It is what it is. I'm not beating myself up. The discovery for me is that I have what I call a pregnant ankle. And when I wake up in the morning and I can see that my ankle is not swollen, that is the absolute evidence that what I'm putting in my body is not good for me. My body is showing me that it likes not having that. So, and I did not find it to be hard. I just was in a place where I was feeling some sort of way, and I'm surrounded by all of the stuff that I bought for the boys. And I just made a choice to indulge. And then I will let myself go back to, the combination. So between Carmel, you talking about more plants on your plate, and Dr. J, you're fasting. I got some collard greens in there that are getting ready to get toe up, and it's going to be okay. So the fridge is full of good stuff. A temporary detour is all it is.
Yeah. And I have thrown in a couple 48-hour fasts in there too. So
you know what? Maybe we'll talk about it another time. I'm still so amazed at how good that is for the body. And I like it. So even though I did not make it through the whole 30 months, I'm still
30 days.
30 days, man.
I said 30 months, didn't I? The whole 30 days. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. But I don't want to do it as a challenge. I just want it to be my normal
lifestyle.
Yeah. But the importance of the. Go ahead, Dr.
I'm just saying it's great that we did it in community, though. Because honestly, I think when we're reporting to each other and talking it through and what did you have, what did you eat, gives me ideas. If you would have never said anything about the Marie's blue cheese, I would have never found it. Like no sugar, really. You know, there's certain things. If I would not have thought, you know, of all these things like the cashew cheese and milk and all that stuff, you know, so it gives you more ammunition.
And
Yeah.
Aisha gave us a cream substitute. I haven't gotten it yet, Maisha, but I'm looking forward to it because I still want that texture and that taste.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that this is the community part. There are things that you guys are teaching me. And even Tabitha Brown. So I have been hunting for the recipes because I want to enjoy my food. And I am convinced in these last couple of weeks that if I can master the delicious food, I can switch the house to mostly vegan and they won't even notice. They're just going to know they're eating delicious food.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I said from the beginning, I was doing low sugar, not, I just, for my brain, it was going to drive me nuts. I did the first couple of days looking at everything that had no sugar. And I was like, I don't have the bandwidth for this. And because that's not particularly my issue, I was just like, yeah, no. So I mean, like the other day, and I told you on the chat the other day, this is how busy I was. I'm racing around the office. I'm doing stuff. This lovely elderly coworker of mine, she's just like, here, take this. I'm thinking 5 steps ahead of things I have to do. I'm just like, okay. She hands me 2 wafers, and I'm just like, I eat them, and I'm like, oh, it's wafers. It's chocolate wafers. I wasn't like, oh my god, And I ate them. And I was like, oh well, there's that. That was the first like actual sweet thing I had like a couple of days ago, but it wasn't that big a deal. And then today, I had like pieces of the hazelnut candy, but sugar's not like, that's not the thing that if I had to give it up, it's like it's really hard. So I kind of went back to eating. It was eating while I was eating, and I was trying to do the autoimmune protocol at the same time. And I was like, this is the wrong time for that, because these are things you have to really plan for.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna attempt this way, you have to really plan in advance, because the stress of needing to eat alone will drive you to make other choices that you don't want to make. So when I realized that was just too much happening, I dropped the autoimmune part, and I was like, I'll just go back to the low sugar. I still make my hot cocoa. I do it with the cashew milk that's got no added sugar in it. I still don't add any maple syrup to it, and it's perfectly fine. I haven't had any like sugar in anything, but I don't put sugar in my stuff. I don't really even put sugar in my tea. I'll put honey in my tea, but I haven't had any honey. I haven't had any tea. The only thing I've had that's probably had me like outside of what I've eaten out the house, and I don't know. I can't be tracking everything. Like I said, for me, it's like, how many grams of sugar is in that? I've probably eaten maybe 5 to 10 grams of sugar a day. Maybe, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Which is a good number.
Yeah, I mean, right. I don't generally don't eat a lot of sugary stuff anyway. But bread is the biggest thing for me usually in general. I just eat a lot of bread, but the last couple of days I could tell. So y'all know I eat intuitively. If if my body is saying I need you to eat bread, I know that there's that I'm starting to dip low, and the banana isn't cutting it. Like I can only eat but so many bananas. I ran out of fruit. I couldn't get to the store. Eat the English muffin. Like I wouldn't sacrifice other parts of me so that since that wasn't my thing, I got other issues in other places, y'all, that I need to abstain from. Okay, but this just wasn't it. So I'm just eating low, low sugar. But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. I didn't really announce much, but I did say I was gonna do I was not gonna eat as much sugar. My youngest son, the one who I used to be so worried about, who could eat like sleeves of Oreos when my mother would buy them. And I'm like, wow, we didn't grow up with this crap. What are you doing to my kids? He was the one, the candy, the Skittles, the Sour Patch Kids that I was so worried about. This kid is like, he joined me on the thing. And so he just started eating. Now, he stopped eating the candy like that a long time ago. Like he was like, I just don't like it like that anymore. And so that was the end of it, right? So if he gets Skittles, for instance, which I'm like, oh my God. But if he gets Skittles, it will last longer. He won't eat the whole bag. But he decided that he was going to, he's like, I like this little sugar thing you're doing. And the same we went to the store and he picked up unsalted butter. Normally I get salted, but I was like, unsalted. He's like, yeah, I was watching this guy on YouTube, and he was like, there's too much salt in the butter. And besides, I like to control what's in my food. So if I get unsalted butter, I get to control the salt. So I'm like, okay, the experiment worked. And that I let my children kind of eat how they wanted to, but he knows his body. And so on his own, without me saying anything, he's decided to pull back on certain things. And he's just like, meh. So for me, that's a big one, whether I need another hazelnut candy tonight or not, is that my son and my other children have seen me through my health journey. And now they're able to make better choices because they know they can, and they're just more aware. So I'm completely satisfied with this month thus far. I'm good. Thank you very much. I want to thank me.
Well, I'm gonna keep it going strong. I think it's good for me. I feel good. I feel good. I feel like really I'm eating more plants and more fruit.
Okay. I feel pretty good too. I'm gonna keep it going.
What I'd like to do eventually is eat foods that are in season. That's the thing I like to do. To me, these things I don't like challenges. That doesn't work for me in my brain. If the challenge means I have to give up something, the rebel in me says we're not doing that. But I would like it always has been, probably always will be. But I do want to eat in season. So it bothers me, for instance, to eat pineapples in the winter because I know that where I am, it's not in season, or strawberries or like it's hard, but it's, because I'm that's not the climate I'm in. But again, that takes a lot of planning to decide I'm going to just do root vegetables for the winter.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to do fruit in the spring and the summer. I'm not there yet, but that's how I'd like to eat, is seasonal.
Same.
I don't think watermelon in season, but I sure destroyed some cut up watermelon yesterday. It was so good. I don't even know. I can't even straighten my face out. It was just so good.
Did it have seeds?
Yes, it had seeds. That's my new. It's got to have seeds. I'm gonna be on a hunt for seeded fruits and vegetables. But y'all, I said I was gonna have like 5 or 6 pieces, and I would save some. And then I had another 5 or 6 pieces. All right, well, you still have enough for later. And I finally just got to a point where I said, stop lying to yourself. Eat the watermelon. And it was a great treat. I don't want to overthink this either. All these rules, I don't understand them. I do understand them. That's bad choice of words, but I don't want to be bothered with them. That's the honest thing. So I got 12 to 8, whatever is natural, mostly natural food. And if I go off on every 10 or 15 days, I'm not going to freak myself out. My main guide is to stay in the schedule. I figure anything else past that, meaning don't eat garbage and eat within this window. I got 2 hands. That's enough for me to But I admire the people who can juggle like 8 balls. I'm good with 2.
Well, speaking of 2 balls, watermelon is a natural form of Viagra for the men out there who are listening. So get more watermelon in your diet, and it will help you to stay strong and long.
Wow.
But Shirley, I like what you were saying, because I coming back full circle as we wrap up, I think that we need more moderation. I think as Black women, we push ourselves so hard to do so many things, to be some perfected version of ourselves, that it becomes too much of a burden for us. And I think that is part of the problem. You mentioning that you're taking it, one day at a time, or that, you're just going to stick to the 12 and 8. And if you go off for a moment. I think that can be a very healthy approach for a lot of women, versus trying to force oneself not to do something. And research is showing that when we force ourselves not to do something, it's like an itch that moves from one area to the other. So for instance, in some drug treatment programs, instead of cutting you off completely, it's let's scale back on these drugs but still use this, right? It's the lesser of the evils. So let's do this versus let's just like cut everything out of your life. And I think that that can be an approach that would help, because what happens is then when we fail, we feel miserable and we feel like we're worthless and I can't believe I did that and why couldn't I stop myself. And I think that that's really detrimental to us as Black women. So the fact that you were saying like, look, I'm a do my best to eat this way, and every once in a while this might come into play, but I'm aware of it. I know this is the choice I'm making. I'm going to make that choice and then I'm going to keep moving on is better than I can't do it at all. I can't do it at all. And then sometimes when we do it, we binge, right? We binge instead. So I think that's a really healthy approach to take.
It's the awareness and also it happened and I'm going to keep it moving. Tomorrow's another day. Those two pieces.
That's why I reported it to you the way I did. I'm like, okay, listen, everyone else is gonna just make a face, but you, let me just tell her what I did. Let me just get whatever beating I'm gonna get. I'm walking right into the fire. Yep, I did it.
I was like, no, but we're human. We're human. We are human. And we're subject to what the government puts on those shelves. So we won't get into that.
And we haven't talked about it. We do have to stop, but I do know I have to add the movement back. We all need that. So we can talk about our diet, but the stretching, I don't have anyone's training, but just finding out what muscles feel away when I move in a certain direction. I've been just doing only a few things. I wouldn't even know how to explain them. I could show you, but I couldn't tell you. Just the movement is something that I'm adding to this next phase. And as I've told you guys in the past, it might be silly movement, but it'll be movement.
No, we overthink too much. What is like we that's another reason with Black women. We overthink way too much. And it's just like, I got to do it this way. And it has to look like this. And I got to do it like that. And just move. Just move. Just go for a walk. Just go dance. Go hula hoop. Go roller skate. Go swim.
Even in your chair. Even in your chair, you can do something. Movement is movement.
We try to make it like we got to go like way out here. People in other countries don't do movement and they don't do exercise. They just live. And the problem is we don't live, we sit. So if people start living, they'll be moving.
Yes, ma'am. But we live in a society where we're online and we are typing up emails and we're editing photos and videos and posting. So that does not allow us to move. So it's kind of like, it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge.
But I was wondering. And I see people walking. We've talked about it with you. Rain, snow. I see the same couple going out for their same walk. They're in shorts one time and they're in winter coats and boots another time, but they go for their walk.
I have an older couple like that I see on the track early in the mornings when it's still dark out.
I love it. And I just want to know we're not winding down. We got to wind down. But where did this, it's raining, it's cold. Well, I was going to go, but it's raining. I was going to go, but it's snowing. So?
That's me. Yeah.
No,
unapologetically.
It's me. But I
don't
know.
I'm okay with that though. Yeah, I'm okay with
that. I've been known to be like, but every once in a while the hair won't let me. I don't have to elaborate on that. I'm like, oh no, not messing that up. But yeah. And sometimes, Shelley, to be quite honest, sometimes people are just looking for an excuse. And so that would be a perfect excuse.
I like that. I like that. They're looking for an excuse, but I'm working on it. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll report that next year. But I definitely am taking silly excuses off the table more and more. Not cold turkey, because I sure haven't been outside today for more than a minute. But if I told you, it kind of sources from another man in my life. The car is working. There's no reason for me not to go. So, okay.
No for me. I will not walk in the freezing cold. I did that today. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't walk in the snow. I don't like it. It's dirty. It's nasty in New York City. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I will put on 5 songs and dance in my room. That is what I will do, but I will not force myself to go outside and go walk in rain because somebody said that that's what I need to do to show that I'm physically active. I will skip around my house before I will do that. Now, if it's warm weather, yes, I'm gonna go outside and walk in the rain. It's nice. It's cold. I will not go outside. And I will feel about it. I will be in my bed and I will do leg lifts in my bed.
There you go. Movement.
That's the movement. But then where I'm diving into is the part of, you were just saying, if we live, then we go out. And I'm looking at all the people on the ski slopes and the snow places, and they're just outside. I think I'm gonna schedule more of that into my life.
That's beautiful, but
I go skiing. If I go skiing, I'll go walk in the snow. It's fun. Then it's clean.
I'm not going skiing.
I don't think Carmel will run outside while it's snowing, but she will go to a ski resort. I'm not stepping outside these streets, but if I'm going and I know there's a cozy fireplace after, yeah, I'm gonna go to the ski resort. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stand there cheering the trainer while they teach Herman to ski or snowboard. I'm gonna go, baby. But with that first snow, whatever, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, we're up in the hill at the park. I went down, y'all. I went down, and my brain instantly said, "No, you don't do this. I'm getting cleats, the little slip-on cleats. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sirs. No, it's for watching. I'll be out there cheering him on and walking from one spot to the next. But that fall, y'all know, I took that a little seriously. Yes, I don't want that. Well, I have my rebounder back there that hasn't really gotten much use, and now since it's really cold and my schedule just isn't going to allow me for me to do much of anything, and my calendar is just 10 minutes of rebounding every day. I can do that for 10 minutes. Okay. I can just put songs on and I can bounce up and down for 10 minutes, and that's
there you go.
Yeah, that'll be what I do. In addition to, but in New York City, I walk everywhere.
Yeah,
so I'm already I do that all the time, and I think that's what's really helpful. Not like when I was in Maryland, we drove. No, we still walked. I still walked. Where you live, Shelley, I'm not walking. Okay.
I was fine walking.
I'll put on my sneakers and I'll be like, "What you want from the store?"
No, you have to drive almost everywhere up here, and I even have a scooter. But when they started having bear alerts, like, we have beautiful trails. I would walk a trail with people, but up here by myself, I don't want to be on the news. New Jersey mother eaten by a bear. I'm not bear lunch. No, a group, yes. Solo, no.
They'll maul you, but I don't think they eat us. But they'll maul us. They'll throw you across the room.
I admit.
That makes me feel a lot better.
I know the accurate language. Okay, I'm sorry.
Still die.
For all of the people, mauling is what it's called. But in my over dramatic mind, eat is if you're chewing on me and scratching me up, I'm sorry I wasn't tasty enough to actually digest. But no, yeah, I'm horrible. Let's stop before I say anything totally more.
We
Yeah.
should. I know Dr. J had to step away, but we should probably just go ahead and wrap it up. I don't know when she's going to be able to come back and join us. So,
All right. This
and
was
that's
good. This was fun.
to talk about next time.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
We have a good topic I'd like us to talk about next time.
You gonna drop a hint?
Yeah. I want to talk about the number of women who are creating more wealth and choosing to stay single.
Amen. I'm here for it.
40 and above who are like, I might get engaged maybe, but we are not ever walking down the aisle.
Okay.
I thought I was like, oh, look at that. Okay.
Yep, I'm here for that conversation for sure.
Nope.
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we doing outros? Or we just we have to say where we'll be in just a few months. Who wants to talk about that?
Let me get this. Where is it at? Let me choose the right banner.
Got the banner. So May 5th, location to be determined. Going to have is it semi-annual? Our first brunch of the 2024. And Maisha, Carmel, you pick up from there.
Yeah. Hey, Jamaica over there. Hey, Maurice over on Instagram. We see y'all. Yes. So it's going to be 5/5 May 5th. I just realized that today. It's 5/5. Okay. It's going to be a Sunday here in the NYC area. We are going to find a place where you can look. Wendy Lee said, "Oh, Dr. Jamesia stepped away. I thought the rapture had occurred." not taking any of us. I'll tell you that right now.
Wendy.
Leave them left behind right there, okay?
Right here.
Stay on the earth. Well, so we're having our brunch in New York City. We're doing it May 5th. It is going to be in an area where planes, trains, and automobiles can get to us. There will be parking, so no worries about that. It is going to be, this is going to be a little different, I think, we're thinking, than the last time we did our brunches. It's going to be more expansive. There's going to be more added to it. Our brunches are geared towards Black women, but we always welcome the men who have something to say and add to the conversation, gives a little bit more sabor, a little bit more flavor. We like the cream that goes into our coffee bowl, except for those who are doing the sugar, no sugar challenge, no cream. There's a sugar-free cream, but anyway, all right, off topic. So we are doing our brunch May 5th, and if you get on our mailing list, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, you will be able to get more details once we know where it's going to be, but we know when it is going to be, May 5th on a Sunday, so please save the date. There you go. Thank you, Jamaica over there. Save the date, May 5th, 2024, NYC area, putting it in the chat over there on the grams of Insta. So that is what is happening next. Hey, LinkedIn. I had added us to my LinkedIn, y'all.
All right.
That is it. That is what's coming. And we've been here chatting, and I think it's time to go.
It's time. I'm going to go have some dinner.
Our time.
Yes. Dr. Jamisa just said I'm coming back. You know, she likes to do her. Bye, y'all.
Where's she at?
Probably making something delicious. All I know is what did Nicey say? It's not it's not them esteem. It's not us esteem. It's self-esteem.
It's self-esteem. So have esteem for yourself.
Yes.
And have esteem. Have a yoni steam for yourself. That's a whole nother topic.
Lord have mercy.
It's a whole nother topic. I'm in favor of yoni steaming, y'all. So get it popping, get it done.
All right.
All right.
That on a list of things to discuss too, because I only halfway know what it is.
We can discuss yoni steaming in a whole nother live.
Yes.
And Dr. He's like,
so what did I walk into?
I thought y'all was gone. That's why I was just like,
oh no, we're still here. We're actually waiting for you
for you to give us your wave.
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So we're ready for you. We're saying goodbye.
Oh, bye, y'all. Thank you for joining in.
Well, we want to
Subscribe
see
to our
this
channel,
one. We want to
and
see
then
this one.
I will subscribe to our channel. Meet us in May on the 5th when we're in New Jersey and all that good stuff. And thanks for chiming in. Who else chimed in? I love y'all's comments this evening, all that good stuff. Bye, y'all.
Ah, bye. Happy Saturday night.
Happy Saturday.